it is, it doesn't matter. Fuck with me, you're cursed. I don't care. I've got all kind of things in here. Real things. Not made up. Not some fake wannabe witch or whatever. You're the talisman. Be aware of this. But it's more than that. How many of y'all got real copper pennies in every corner of your house? It's not to ward off or invite. It means something. How many of you have certain crystals that you handpicked, that you went out and found, and you breathed on them? You knew the connection. I know. Keep listening to everybody else. It's all right. Because my lights on, you see it here, don't mean you look. I'm gonna have to go and remind certain individuals. You know what I mean? Not too bright. People don't know how to avert their eyes. It's not complicated. And it's not that it's a problem. It's something that people have to mitigate amongst themselves. To be responsible. Most aren't. The majority are. What are you doing? Awesome. Awesome. I knew. Live on YouTube. Come on over, brother. Yeah, this thing was acting up. Somebody was maybe logging into my account, but I catch them, so you know what I mean? That simple. That's so simple. You got to see when, you know what I love about TikTok? These Chinese that think they can speak English. Y'all know I respect everybody, but I don't respect nobody. They're given permission by this wayward fake Zionist alphabet. I'm not going to give them no strength. To believe that they can say something that means something. The fact is, when you studied under certain Chinese who are of different persuasions than these goopy pale skin ones that come over here, right? There's no hate. I'm speaking facts. And he's taught you a lot, and certain other individuals, whether they be cousins in your family, they teach you something, and you look at them and you know how their vowels and their adjectives are totally different. So when they write, regardless of how good at English you think they write, who are they? It's something with still being around their parents and their elders, right? Then when they come, those who are employed with deplorable activity, it's easy to see when they're writing. They'll put like three posts, and they'll be like, have a little motif, or their picture will be, their profile will be of one of our pictures, right? And yet you look at the communication, it's like, okay, then why are you here? You followed me. What's the problem? So what I do is I always take their little what you call it, and I report it and say it's fraud. Regardless, I know they're not going to do nothing about it, and they'll remove it and make another one. But I share it with everybody. I share it with everybody so everybody will know. So when somebody comes along, and we all know who use certain profiles, right off the bat, you already know who it is. My stuff is public. I'm not hiding it. I don't care. I don't feel, you see when I was laughing? Okay, that was giddy or laughter. Because it was funny. But anger or excited or I don't feel neither way. I mean 100 and 100, like 100 times 100% is such a thing. Infinita. I don't feel nothing. I just look at them like, and you might say, well, why are you giving it energy? Who's saying I'm giving it energy? I'm expressing something so that you'll be in the know. That's containing or ascertaining something of knowledge, so that way you will be in the knowing. There's a difference. And if you don't know that, you should be mindful. A lot of people, the internet has a lot of people that blurt things out, to have fictional thoughts based upon a character ideation that doesn't even exist. But they make it real. See, we make things real, people. And if that's very possible, which is very factual, that's based upon a fact. Imagine if you started living your life according to your desires, wants. I mean, your desires of what's needed, not wants, excuse me. And then when your wants become practical to what your needs are, you start gifting yourself. Now, there's always going to be a stream of negative stuff that you have not yet perceived, nor you can hear. That's always all around us. What do you think 5G is about? Do you think that B, what's that B tone? The one that's supposed to make you crap yourself, D, C tone, whatever? The brown note. Do you think there's not a tone that's traveling all over the earth that is putting out some wayward, goofy people sitting there mumbling things in reverse, and you're not picking it up like your eyes do, upside down, and you don't hear it? Just because you don't acknowledge you don't hear it doesn't mean that it's not being heard. There's more to you. You must tune in and tune up. All right? Now you get a vehicle, right? And they put an electronic governor on it. You know you can buy a tuner to remove it, right? Or pay the however amount, $500-$600 for the software, know where to hook it up, and to be able to look at the dynamics. Now, I'm not saying that you got to go and put it on a dyno, but look at where it's at to remove it, so that way you can increase your airflow and your gas flow and not have it governed to a certain specific point. Then there's a chip, a tuner you can buy for $25 to $100 something, and you can put it in, and it overrides certain things as well as making your tires a little bit bigger to increase your as you increase your RPMs from the digital governor remove the tuner, your tires increase, so you have a little more speed and a little more stableness. Real simple stuff, people. So you must do that with yourself. Do not be the provocateur yet, but to unprovoke the things that are being brought to you. Only you can stop it. So when I just got a notification without the song and music. They hacked my boy who's a realtor's account. Talking about, well, you saw, did I share it? I'm gonna share it in a post. Somebody, if you put $300 in my Bitcoin, and I'll free up his account, everybody's account. Nigga, I don't care. I just block you. Boom, you're done. And you want to send another couple of your groupies, because I put something into the time, the space that we're in, the ether. Can you call it a realm of protection? It's early on, the process. What it is they allow themselves to walk into a spell. And by me conveying it, they haven't practiced themselves up to be able to remove it. To reiterate, I've set a trap, which allows them to come. When I said leave me alone, it wasn't a gate of games. It was a gate of invitation. I want them to come. Because see, I actually know, and I hate, it's not braggart. I want them to know that I know what I'm doing. And there's a difference. All that meditation and taking a long hiatus from meditating doesn't mean I stop meditating. I've learned a different way to meditate. And I can't invoke that upon anybody. So I want them. Before telling Uno Quasa Yokwade, Darian Chief Two Bears Ross transition, I had him make me a tobacco pouch in red. And he put a proper amount of tobacco. And what I did was I took it and did what needed to be done with it. Then I did a live on Facebook when I was on a res. I made the circle with certain diagrams, like a talisman. And I said in it, with no socks on, no shirt on. I was live on Facebook. And I went to chanting in my inner breath, repetitively, as if I was reprobate in it. And I believed. And now I know it. So it didn't become fiction, it became factual. So please come. Please. I welcome you. Please, stay in the suit. Oh, he ain't doing nothing. He ain't seeing, he don't know, he can't see who we are. Well, if I started to post it, because I know they're all through the phone, they're looking at everything, they don't get how it actually works. They're doing the surface work, because that's what they've been doing for so long. There are those who know how to go under and in and assert themselves. The flower, the blossom. When I tell you, you are more powerful than you think, it doesn't mean that you're Harry Potter. It means that your capabilities are beyond the scope of anything. And yes, yet still, you are capable of a whole lot. The scarab beetle, right? Do you know that it really doesn't fly? Do you know how the scarab beetle flies? It levitates. There's a chemical it gives off that causes some kind of that causes it to levitate. So when you see that beetle, the dung beetle, whatever, flap its wing, it's chemical release that causes it to pop off and take off to wherever it's got to go. And it can manage it because we make the same chemical, people. They just got us chemically suppressed. Look it up if you think I'm playing with you. And there are certain things you can do to increase that hormone, we'll call it a hormone, that chemical process. You'd be surprised at what knowledge is out here. Right now, while you're on here, pull out your laptop, your tablet, your other phone for you guys that are doing something you shouldn't be. Look it up. You think I'm joking? Let me see. I never Googled it. This is something I learned a long time ago. Let's see if I can find it for you right quick before we get into the read. You know, I like to share a few things before I get into the rate. Okay, let's we're gonna have to, like, I had to restart the phone. We're gonna let it go. Oh, it's thousands of them up there. Oh, it's gonna be going for a minute, guys. Oh, when I say thousands, believe me. And I don't remove them. I like to zip back, tap on, because I kind of know the areas where to go, because I'm looking at the stuff all the time. Oh, it's still going. It's still going. Oh, I'm not playing. I'm not going to show you the other one, because that one's got, man, DuckDuckGo, and the other two I utilize, I would never even put it up. Old tabs is zipping by. I hope you're patient enough to wait. There we go. Now, escargot beetle. No, what is the fuck is it called? It's called something else. Scarab beetle. Excuse me. Scarab. Check it out. Let me turn this around this way because I was relaxing. Chemical ecology. Turn you down a little more. I love you. You know, I can listen to music all day. This is a 10-hour joint right here. This one right here is Viking music, epic battle music, no copyright, royalty free. So you can Google it if you choose. I mean, or you can YouTube it. Chemical ecology of Pythofagus scarab beetles. Pheromone-degrading enzymes that are present in the scarab beetle antenna and show in the last day. Okay, the chemoreceptive sensilla are abundantly distributed on antenna lamellae of scarab beetles. Reception by these sensories allow it to float, to levitate. Sampling scarab beetles in tropical forests. If you eat them, you're a freaking idiot. When they're never meant to be eaten, just like no animal or insect. Isometric spiracular scaling in scarab beetles, implications of diffusive and additive oxygen transport, which allows for the chemical. It levitates people by chemical. It does not fly. I know, but little wings come out. Those are like ailerons. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Help it with the lift, even though it goes up, so it doesn't go pop over to somewhere else. And rudders, so it has a little direction focus when those chemicals that deal with the magnetism of the earth allow it to levitate. There was a man who took and made a platform where he can levitate off the ground based on the scarab's wings. You can actually take them off, put them together, and they will take off. Oh, did you know that? I'm really reading the stuff, y'all. I'm not just pulling this out of my. Well, my butt's sitting down, so I'm not pulling out the smoke from my ass. The beetles that scatter all the light. Invisible light can be thought of in two ways: light as illumination, such as that used in the chemical process that creates luminescence. Didn't I tell y'all if you took Mountain Dew and baking soda and put them in a tube, what happens? I was going to do it live, but I figured I'd share it with y'all to see if any of you done it. That's right. Get your little Mountain Dew, put in a little tube or a little beaker or whatever. I have beakers and stuff like that. And drop your tablespoon of baking soda in there and tell me once you stir it around what happens. Oh, it'll make you want to go. Okay, we know what that is. I love this. Where I get this information from? What do you think? I kind of always knew it. That's how I got it. Now, the morphological diverse section has led to interspecific variations. Because you know they like to cut everything up, chop everything up. And they want to study and use other poisons and stuff to find the chemicals. So yes, of course, they all have these wings. But that is not what causes them to fly. And if you was to murder one, of these, if you was to take those two black ass shells, put them together, maybe you would learn something. There's 19 types of different beetles now, but we said scarab, remember? I'm just saying, for those who really want to go out there and find out and learn something, there is a reason why. Let me see if I can let me see if there's a reason. Let me see if I can pull up some of my old pictures in here. And I will show you as to why I say this. And I know it might sound like it's contradictory, but why would it be when they've always been here in so-called America? So-called, named after us, actually. And you'll be like, holy shit. Okay. And then I will show you why I state that and why the man who did it showed he did it. Some of these things are just the way they are. I know that. Okay. No, that's not good. I'm just trying to pull the right ones out. All right, so I think this might be good. Here you see the scarab beetle. It's in flight. It is not its wings. It is letting you know that it can fly in the earth being a flat disc. Another one that alludes to it based off the origin of it. I'm gonna let you break this down. It's not complicated. Take a screenshot and do the magnificent work to know why it is we're not flying and they have machines that don't have inducted fans and turboprops and all that other shit. They don't use gas and oil and methanol and all that other stuff. JP5, JP4, none of that. What they do, they use the Earth's magnetic field based on the chemicals of those who have not been dumbed down or dead. Do I have any more? Oh! Based upon the fact that the scarab could fly. Now, if we wasn't so dumbed down and allowed to mature appropriately as we should, we'd be beyond the scope of all this. But the thing is, will we lose our spiritual, our source? I'll let you back into that. Let's get into the lead. Just want to share something. You know me. I like to share information. Okay. We got to the Earth is not a globe. We got to that point where we converged and became 0 degrees, blah, blah, blah. So let's take it from the next part. All right. Here we go. For posterity, Ronald Amundsen. It's a little too loud still. We should keep it on. There we go. Ronald Amundsen would be credited not only with being first to the geographic South Pole, but also first to winter in the Antarctic. And then subsequent expeditions to the Arctic would claim for him titles of first. God dang it. I don't know why you fell. You leave the papers alone. First through the Northwest Passage. First to cross and first to circumnavigate the Arctic. Circumnavigate. Y'all know what it means. It doesn't mean that you actually go to it. But you do little partials there, and it doesn't mean you're dead at all. You probably wouldn't have made it back. Yeah, he definitely didn't get to the center of it. This is the guy that went to the Antarctica we're talking about here. And he only went to one little part, but yet circumnavigate, he means he knew it was a wall because he went around. And you remember how long it took him? Okay. 7 years? Anyway. Ocean first to the ice pole. The Arctic Ocean point farthest from land masses. And after widespread distrust and dispute of Cook and Perry's claims, the 1926 expedition would see Amundsen reclaim being first to the geographic North Pole as well. Reminiscent of the 1909 Cook-Perry controversy, however, a similar media-fueled heated debate raged in 1926 as United States Admiral Richard Byrd allegedly reached the pole by plane just 3 days before Ronald Amundsen did by dirigible. Dirigible. That means the balloon, the floater. Both Byrd and Amundsen were aware of each other's concurrent expeditions, and due to the recent advances in aviation technology, both decided to reach the pole via air rather than land and sea as previous explorers attempted. Similar to Scott's follow-up confirmation of Amundsen's South Pole claim, the plan was for Admiral Byrd to fly over first and dump a load of hundreds of large American flags directly at the pole. They just do the most meaningless and dumbest shit. You can see they're new on Earth. They're new as far as the Earth, coming out of their dark shadow of abyss of life and a lie, which Amundsen would then find and confirm a few days later during his own polar flight. The custodians look like us. So who's to say that they did not raise these individuals or rear them? So on May 9th, 1926, Byrd and his co-pilot departed in their Fokker tri-motor airplane, the Josephine Ford, from the Norwegian island Spitsbergen, and attempted to fly over the pole. Well, they're a little bigger than us, but just 15 hours and 57 minutes later, including an alleged 13 minutes of circling the pole, Byrd landed back at Spitsbergen, claiming to have reached the pole and traveled a distance of 1,535 miles. Upon return to the United States, at that time they were still calling it America, but anyway, Byrd became a national hero, promoted to the rank of commander, and was awarded a Presidential Medal of Honor at the White House. Was it called the White House, y'all? It was still the Franklin House. Raoul Amundsen's airship, the Norge, allegedly floated over the pole 3 days later on May 12th, but was unable to confirm Byrd's attainment because Byrd never ended up dropping his cargo of U.S. flags over the pole, nor provide a public explanation of why. At first, Byrd's polar claim was widely accepted and Amundsen reduced to second fiddle. But after new evidence came to light and further investigations made clear, Byrd never dropped the flags because he never actually reached the pole. He can't. No one can. The first public skepticism of Byrd began a year after his death in 1958. He didn't die. He's not here no more. When Byrd's colleague, personal pilot during his South Pole flight and helper in Spitsbergen for the North Pole flight, Bernd Bachmann published his book, Come North With Me, which questioned the feasibility of Byrd's 1926 polar claim. Especially Byrd's sextant locked 61 knot mean speed for the first 6.25 hours of the flight. Per his own records and a recorded 7:07 GEC time, sextant shot, required that to reach the pole at the reported time he would need to have suddenly, after taking a reading, jumped his average speed over double from 61 to an impulsive 148 knots in order to cover the final 284 miles in alleged time allotted. In addition, once supposedly reaching the pole and circling around it for 13 minutes, his written calculations contradictorily still claim constant 85 mile per hour straight line speed northward. Apologists and defendants of Byrd dismissed Bachmann's objection, insisting prevailing winds may have helped him along until in 1960, Gösta Liljeqvist, professor of, professor of meteorology at University of Uppsala, I guess that's Uppsala, not Uppsala College like in Florida, examined the meteorological records and concluded there were absolutely no polar winds strong enough on May 9th, 1926 to propel Byrd so swift to his destination. You want to see the plane he flew? And if y'all know me and y'all like to watch, I used to like watching National Geographic and all that. So when they discussed it, they showed his plane. So it's pretty amazing, pretty not amazing, but awe-inspiring. Another exposure of Bird's hoax surfaced in 1971 with Richard Montague's book, Oceans, Poles, and Airmen, in which he interviewed Bernd Balcham, who claimed that Floyd Bennett, Bird's North Pole co-pilot, had confessed to him before his death that the Josephine Ford had actually developed an oil leak early in the flight, lost the motor several hundred miles from the pole, and subsequently turned back, circling out of sight of land without making an effort to reach the pole. Sounds like these spaceships. The final nail in Bird's coffin came with the 1996 release of his personal diary and papers recording the May 9th, 1926 flight. Hear me. His official sextant reading, typewritten in his June 22nd report to the National Geographic Society, taken at 7:07 the time, 10 GCT. Actually, I don't think that's the time. 7:07. That's longitude and latitude, right? Give or take. Claimed, oh no, the Saxon. I forgot how to read that shit. Anyway, claimed a solar altitude of 18. That's, I forget how that goes. It's all 18 degrees. I forget what it is when it's like going to a certain position. I forget height, how far. I forget how it goes. In his diary, however, an erased but still legible recording shows his apparent observed solar altitude at 7:10, not 18, to have been 1925.30. Not only because you got to remember it's 000 if it would have been if you would have got to the North Pole, it would have been 000. Not only this, but a scrap piece of paper found in Bird's diary, also in his handwritten, shows a third scribbled solar altitude of 7710, degrees, as being 18 degrees, 19 degrees, 18 degrees. This intermediate scrap paper calculation between the diary recording and official typewritten report shows evidence of gradual doctoring of the raw data in an effort to fudge a believable figure. In addition, Bird's official recorded sextant data was overly precise, far beyond the capabilities of his or any other sextant available at the time. Dead reckoning latitudes were recorded with 1,000 times better precision than physically possible, again pointing towards an attempt to overcompensate the perceived accuracy of his inaccurate fudged data. To summarize Bird's 1926 primary record includes several mysterious erasures, back and forth diary entries, confirmed fabrications and contradictions, including 2 takeoff times, 3 pole arrival times, and 7 degrees by 7 sextant altitudes, and for different speeds. In documents including his diary from the time, we see intermediary steps of his forging calculations for the most believable and accurate times, airspeeds, distances, and solar latitudes. There you go. He never dropped the cargo of U.S. flags as intended and could not have attained the pole at the speeds recorded. The Great Polar Fraud. It's actually a book. I don't know if they made a movie or anything, but it's actually a book. In brief, Bird's diary, Richard Admiral Bird's diary, and the one who came back and says, we got into a fight with something out there and we folded and lost. And then after he says there's things and lands and they took him away for a couple of weeks. He came back and he did that interview. Yeah, it's ice and it's a big land, lots of miles like America. In brief, Bird's diary and his typescript describe 2 quite different trips. Indeed, there are actually 4 distinct trips because the diary has 3 separate and contradictory sections. The sextant observations are for a 70-mile-per-hour celestially navigated trip. The radial distances are 4 and 80-mile-per-hour direct trip, while the last minute direct data are for an 85-mile-per-hour trip. But the latter neat typescript claims that the mean northward speed was over 90 miles per hour. I forgot all about that mean shit. The typescript, excuse my language, the typescript strip does not agree with any of the 3 disparate diary trips. If you are, it's not desperate, it's disparate. If you are caught keeping 2 sets of fiscal books, you go to jail. Not even the wildest defense lawyer would try alibying the accused by treating the differences between the 2 documents as exculpatory or mysterious, when the whole point of the indictment is the discrepancies. Question: did any other explorer in history leave us manuscript astronomical observations for a position which grossly to his disadvantage invariably differed from his published observation? This is in Dennis Rawlins Amundsen and in that book, The Cheated and Uncheated. Since Cook, Perry, and Bird's North Pole claims have all been found fraudulent, it is now generally accepted that Ronald Amundsen dirigible flight of May 12, 1926 did cross the pole, and he is credited with being the first explorer to both the South and North Poles. Now, how high up was he? Now, those balloons can go pretty freaking high back then, you know? Even Wikipedia states that 3 prior expeditions led by Frederick Cook, 1908 land, Robert Perry, 1909 land, and Richard E. Byrd, 1926 aerial, were once also accepted as having reached the pole. However, in each case, later analysis of expedition data has cast doubt upon the accuracy of their claims. This is also Irish journalist Anthony Galvin's conclusion in his book, The Great Polar Fraud. Cook, Perry, and Byrd. Now, when did Byrd go to the Antarctic? I'm asking because I think some people might want to know. I just want to know, when did Admiral Byrd go to the North Pole? Anybody know? No, that's the North Pole, is the 26th. When did he go to the South Pole? Excuse me. Wasn't it after World War II? And all of a sudden, mysteriously, after he came back and did all that wonderful stuff, he made a few trips. Operation Skyjo. And what's the other one? He dies in 58. No, because he would betray humanity by the custodians. They took him to a far land where he's still making war. They say he probably lives about 500 years if he ain't killed. Anyway, the Great Polar Fraud, Cook, Perry, and Byrd. How 3 American heroes duped the world into thinking they had reached the North Pole. Now, ever since Amundsen's dirigible, the Norge, and I'll show you a picture of the Norge. A lot smaller than the Hindenburg, but yes. Ever since Amundsen's dirigible, the Norge, allegedly successfully floated over the pole, many more explorers have also continued the legacy. Norge designer and pilot Umberto Nobel, along with several scientists and crew, allegedly crossed the pole a second time on May 24th, 1928, in the airship Italia, which crashed before returning, killing half of the people on board. In May 1937, the Soviet government established the world's first North Pole ice station, allegedly just 13 miles from the pole. Interestingly enough, this station was found by icebreakers just 9 months later off the eastern coast of Greenland. Over 17,000 miles away. I know about that story. This was explained as being caused by swift ice drifts, which radically displaced them. Bullshit. Anyway, I had to say that. My apologies again for the language. In May 1945, David Cecil McKinley of the Royal Air Force claimed to fly over both the geographic and North Magnetic poles. The Soviet Sever II expedition in May 1948 claimed to set foot on the pole, and in May 1949, Soviets Vitaly Volkovich and Andrei Medvedev claimed, they all are the fucking same anyway, claimed being first to parachute to the pole. In May 1952, U.S. Air Force Lieutenant, yes, in May Why it's got to be in my motherfucking month? Anyway, 1952, United States Air Force Lieutenant Joseph Fletcher and William Benedict Arnold, anyway, claimed the first aerial landing at the pole, and the U.S. Navy submarine USS allegedly crossed the pole in August 1958. And in March 1959, the USS Skate claimed first to surface at the pole, breaking through the ice above it. And April 1969, British Trans-Antarctic Expedition claimed first to reach the North Pole by foot. August 1977, the Soviet icebreaker Arctica claimed first surface ship to reach the pole. This is all bullshit. Anyway, and on the list of alleged polar firsts, continue from first by dog sled to first by motorcycle in 1985 for a particularly interesting media hype. First, Sir Edmund Hillary, the first man to stand on the summit of Mount Everest, and Neil Armstrong, the alleged first man to stand on the moon, claimed to land a small twin-engine ski plane and stand together at the North Pole. Isn't it funny how they did all that? Nobody's been to the fucking moon. Oh, there's more people who have not passed away who are telling the truth now, and they can't even stop me. What is that thing that flies up, disembarks, and it lands by itself? The Blue Oregon or Origin, whatever. It don't even go to space. It goes up to like the vomit common place where it releases. If you unbuckle yourself, you can float, because what's happening is it's decelerating. It's coming back down. It hits a point, debuckles, boom, pushes it up. They unbuckle. This for a show. They're told to do this, and they all float. While it's coming down, you can see that they're all kind of gradually floating to the top of the thing. And then they pull themselves down and strap in before they start hitting the serious G's. And it's not that slow, but they're very high up. By that time, the rocket what you call lands, and they come down and they land with their big chutes. Oh yeah, I forget how much you can pay to do it. I would not do it. You don't go into space. And then when you look out the window at the Earth, you're looking through fisheye lens. But the Earth, if you look at the expanse of it as high as you are, you know that you're looking across thousands of miles, and it's all flat. Pretty simple to break down, if you ask me. Especially if you see all nothing but land. If you see all but land, then how high really are you? Isn't there supposed to be a globe where you can see America and you can see other little islands and all that? But if you're that high and you're looking out and all you see is land, help me out here. Is it not just the words and the consistency of brainwashing that manipulates the mind to perceive that the Earth is round because of the fisheye lenses on the windows? And the fact that you're looking down at land and you see the clouds and you're up high and you done disembark and you see darkness. You're looking at water because it goes to a certain height. But you're not really that close because you haven't even reached this spring. That will surely vaporize your ass. If you can make it past that, then you'll be riding across an ocean, vast and wide, that is no more than crystalline. Soft and becomes hard. We know that because there are places in the oceans or out in certain lakes that you can actually get up on and would not allow you to sink. It actually hardens to the pressure. Oh, y'all didn't study about that, have you? Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway, the Soviet Union icebreaker Attica claimed first surface ship to reach the pole, and on the list it goes on and on, right? Sir Edmund Hillary, the first man to stand on the summit of Mount Everest, and Neil Armstrong, the alleged first man to stand on the moon, claimed to land a small twin-engine ski plane and stand together at the North Pole. All Masons. As is abundantly clear to anyone who has objectively studied the NASA, to deceive, Apollo missions, Freemason Neil Armstrong most certainly did not land on the moon. So it is fair and wise to be skeptical of whether he and his Royally Knighted colleague, Sir Edmund Hillary, actually stood foot on the geographic pole. As well. As for the magnetic poles, the North was allegedly discovered by James Clark Ross in 1831 at the Boothia Peninsula named after his father's patron. They always like to name shit. Sir Felix Booth, the peninsula located at 70 degrees north latitude, however, strangely placed the magnetic pole well over 1,000 miles from the, listen to this, geographic pole. It's the one I told you there's a big whirlpool and it sucks and destroys every goddamn thing, and it's a big black mountain. Raoul Amundsen, during his 1903 Arctic expedition, was also credited with discovering a new position of the magnetic North Pole just 30 miles north from where Ross claimed. It was later in 1947 allegedly found again by Canadian government scientist Paul Searson of Jack Clark of the Dominion Astrophysical Observatory, who claimed the pole had moved near Prince of Wales Island at 72 degrees north latitude. Since then, the North Magnetic Pole has continued to be discovered. Time and it sounds like they just want to throw everybody off and have everybody running them for cover. Time and again, at random places in the Arctic, following no discernible pattern. Likewise, the South Magnetic Pole was first allegedly discovered by Sir Ernest Shackleton during his 1909 expedition, and has ever since been found randomly moving all over the Antarctic. That's the South Pole, the so-called South position, y'all. You can't make this shit up. I'm done reading that for right now. And we'll finish the last part of that tomorrow. Now let's finish the last chapter of Terra Infinita. Then I'll start reading the third book next week. I'm not going to just drive you right into it. I want to get into the Custodians of Time and finish the dialogue with that. This is Turning the Human Form into Eternal Freedom, chapter 29. I understand that you may be wondering, so where did the whole plan go? And it is a question I want to answer before I finish. All right, let's start over here so you remember where we left off. Was in short a chaotic era that continues today. It has been feared since then that humanity would be destroyed in absurd wars with the use of biological weapons, or that the custodians would decide to reset for fear that they would be exterminated, or even that humans would use this technology to attack them. Obviously, the third option was the one that was farthest from happening, because these motherfuckers have done all kind of weird and goofy shit. They have picked and groomed sociopaths, and those are the people you motherfuckers keep voting for. That's why they have certain motherfuckers around them to protect them and their perversions, and even to go out and bring more of the perverse shit to them, and you will never know it. I understand that, and this is where the human farm into eternal freedom. I understand that you may be wondering, so where did the whole plan go? And it is a question I want to answer before I finish. Changes are going to happen. The plan was never abandoned. In fact, after my father's death, it impacted the Republic more, as William was well loved along with Butler, and they represented the face of freedom and the direct link to the known lands. The fight against the custodians never ceased, and we remained steadfast. You can see it, but you just don't see it. It's right in front of you everywhere. Trust me. You know when they say an angel helped somebody save them? Against, it depends on where they're at. Against their oppression, manipulation, and control of these lands, as well as other races, unfortunately, we could not move to the next phase yet, because this takes time. The new humanity has a long way to go on this spiritual path. First, it must free itself from its own mind, which controls it and does not leave it even a second to breathe. To be able to silence those inner voices that are nothing more than a custodial control that they implanted since the beginning of this last cycle. The thousands of thoughts that come into your mind's control you, and many times break your dreams. Most of them are simply negative thoughts. The competition you are subjected to and the division between you for almost every cause that takes place here are really exhausting and can lead you to the easy path of surrender. I read this, but I'm reading it again. This energy drain and sense of constant struggle to any race on any world would have wiped you out long ago, and you are still standing. It only remains for the majority to know where the real enemy is. Their macrobay psychological games that generate division among you and to break this control and conditioning. How do you think Walt Disney, it made everybody all over sexualized and perverse, and that was to control the narrative to make you believe that you got to marry somebody on some fake ass Bible that they created from our construct, so they can own you. You don't even belong to each other. Further dismemberment and separation under the guise of lies and hidden. That's why they deal with you in such a way that you know nothing about. The new humanity has an admirable resistance to adversity, an infinite potential for spiritual growth, which infinite motherfuckers start meditating and fasting and shit. Stop running your goddamn mouth so much, which is something we must exploit and can be taught from an early age. You're still young. They will instead try to attempt to manipulate the children with weapons and distractions. I broke this down yesterday. Bombard their minds and continue to try to create robots that follow their dogmas and patterns without question. They will use the usual, the big media, the men and women recognized by degrees that are only given in the corrupt universities that they call distinguished or outstanding, of which very few have access. They will also use the manipulated part of science, you know, Bush and all them motherfuckers. Bones, and skeletons and bones, and all the other bullshit out there. By part of science, and anyone who gets in their way, they will try to ridicule them first and then attack them in every way possible. I do not mean to leave studies or the universities, but on the contrary, maybe one of the ways would be to enter there and be the best in each field, to be able to modify from within everything that is corrupted or manipulated by them. Anyway, we have a totally different system than the current one is in these lands. Within our plan is also this, to be able to enhance the greatness of the real scientific advancement. Unfortunately, the ancestral and giant human advancements was destroyed or simply hidden from the new humanity. We will continue with the struggle to make this humanity understand that if they unite in true love, remember I want to repeat this, nothing would stop them. That their brothers are out there and also in here waiting for the right moment, that we have never forgot them. Many lost their lives trying to save them, and it will continue to be so. The ancestral technology will continue looking for the way to end this control. And there are many other races that overcame the custodians and were able to free themselves. People, this is possible. But the human being will not be left easily, because he has inside what no other race has. We are the source of life, the possible reason for this great dome, and surely the direct connection to other worlds beyond. We are different and with a potential that few would imagine, with all the conditioning received in a life in these lands. We are still in these lands, and we will continue standing here fighting together with you. Those who woke up from this bad dream called human farm and want to turn it into an eternal freedom. Excuse me. Claudia Nicole, and I told you where to look him up on YouTube. Yes, if you choose. I prefer to read the books. You know what I mean? No, I'm not going to read Custodian Times. Not right now. Read that tomorrow. Okay? So, I thank y'all for joining me again. I'm going to get some shout outs. And I'm hungry. I got me some, you know me, I like those. I can show y'all better than I can, you know. Let me go grab it right quick. Oh, I'm hungry. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, my goodness. Gotta get the rice out, Nick. Get the rice out, Nick. Get the rice out, Nick. Oh, shit. Climb your ass up here again, you little monkey. Oh man, you gonna be fighting, bro. It's still frozen. And I got my tomatoes, and I got my avocado. Yes, sir. Oh man, I'm gonna make 4 of these bad boys. I'm hungry. Vegan tamales. I'm gonna make this 3 of them. I got some wild rice I'm gonna hook up with some fake chicken. You wanna see the chicken too, y'all? And you can order this stuff and make it too. Let me get the damn rice from under the thing. I'm about to fuck it up in here. I thought this up. Oh, this semi thought it up. So wild rice, I only can make like cook up 3 ounces of the rice and a quarter of this, and 2 tamales. I think will be enough. I like eating this. Yes, y'all. Salad, stir fries, and all that. I make it with coconut oil. I steam these with a colander in a big pot that I used to make crabs and all that, roaches of the sea shit. Crabs and shrimps and all that, yes, they become very toxic. Fish, continue to eat that. I don't eat shrimp and crabs no more, y'all. Stop. But I'll hook 2 of these bad boys up, keep them in the freezer. I'll take a quarter of this. 3 ounces of rice cooks up pretty big. I'll be putting some cabbage, a quarter of a cabbage chopped up in the rice. We cook it up, and some spinach. Boom. No garlic. I don't use no garlic. I stopped. I told you I stopped. What was it? I stopped last week. So, I'm about to fuck something. I'm hungry, y'all. I be getting hungry than a motherfucker. Yeah, I'm back doing sit-ups. I be cramping too much doing sit-ups, though. You know, I don't give a fuck about sit-ups no more. I just worry about... When I'm walking around, I don't look it. But I wear every bit about... Right now... Let me take this bitch off. Let me see. Let's go see. I like the mechanical scale. I don't like the digital one. The digital one be acting up. Let's see. I'll put it right here. I'll keep it right here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Right now, I'm at... It says 220. Everything I got on, wallet in the pocket, knife in the pocket, change in the pocket. I weigh about 218. So remember, a couple months ago, I got up to 235. So right now, I'm back down to 217, 218. Not bad. So, and I don't want to be heavy. I want to lose a little more weight. It helps with my speed. You know what I'm saying? So let's put this up here and give it some shout outs, and I'm gonna sign the fuck off. I know how people come in, they can't stay, but I recognize and I appreciate it. And y'all, you see I posted. I appreciate those who donate because there's about 4. Let me see. There's 4 more books I'm gonna get. Actually, I'm gonna order one tonight because I want to get it like next Tuesday, Wednesday. Coming. This one right here. Let me see. Pull it up. Oh shit. Yeah. Make sure I pull it up. All right. All right. Why is it doing that with the question mark? They like whenever you pull certain things up, they put a little question mark with like a pyramid or some shit. Like what you doing looking at these wayward ass motherfuckers. Okay, let me see. Let me pull it in. Right. Okay, this is one of the books I'm gonna get. I'm gonna show it to you. All right. I didn't add. Well, I know it is in the card actually. I just didn't. I didn't want to. That's not it. Why is my? Why am I having a hard time with my shit? That's not it either. Yeah. Okay. That's not the book either. No, motherfucker. Okay, there we go. Where's it at? Why does it do this? It's not pulling it up. Yeah, okay. All right. What's it at? There's a lot of Viking books. Only reason why I'm getting these books is because I just think they make for excellent reading based on the time. So I'm gonna show you this one. This one's $18. The Company: The Rise and Fall of the Hudson's Bay Empire. Okay, let me show you the other one. Hold on. God damn it. And this one this one is fucking beyond the scope of fucking anything. And this one's like $20. And the first one I just showed you, let me pull it up. This one right here is like the one I gotta have. And I think y'all will really enjoy this. I actually have the PDF. It's all in my cart and it's moving real slow. I guess because I got so many things up. Mud Flood 101. Oh yeah, this is real shit. This is not like sci-fi and all that bullshit. All right? There's places this is an excavation, and this is by Tim Osmond. This is an excavation to show you a city built on top of a city. Oh, and it goes down much farther. What's the other one? All right, you saw The Last Gospel of Peace. You ever see that one? All right, this is it's in my cart. So this one right here is about $15. This is one I'm ordering tonight because I really want to and then I'm not gonna show you my cart. I mean, who the fuck are you? I'm not being mean. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? And another one, because this one I have, but this is a softback, and the cat does shit with certain paperback books that I don't like. And it's called A Lot of Scratch Marks, and the papers look like fucking confetti. So I had to order this one again. All right. And pull it up. Like I said, I'll show you my cart. You can see it up in the corner if you look at the numbers. You can freeze it and go back. There's quite a few books up there. Come on, dude. All right, let me just see what this. Okay, yeah, it wouldn't. All right, it wouldn't let. It won't. I tapped on it, but it's not doing. So I gotta. I don't know why they're doing that with that. Exposing the Expositions, 1851 to 1915, revised 2021. It's a book on Target. A book that I've read about. I've got like 4 or 5 of them. But I was looking for it, and then I looked up under the bed, and there it is. I don't know what he did, if he was trying to hump it, I don't know what, but it was, half of it was confetti, the lower part of it. So I just threw it away. So I have all these books, and I have about 5 more that I'm looking at getting. The real expensive ones, I just go ahead and not pay for those. But the other book of Enoch that I ordered was, I think for like $7.25. I look at different ones, like the different ones they have, and that's what I go on. And another one that you might like that I don't even have in my cart, so I can show you right here. Well, actually, it is in my cart. Fuck, man. I'm not even looking at the numbers. Hold on. Let me global. Let me see. Why is my shit acting so funny? Okay, so this is the one right here. It's in my cart. Why is it not? What is going on here, bro? Okay, this one popped up. Global Reset. Now, these are not sci-fi, people. All right, and I'm getting these from this. Now, I have a library that I have Barnes & Noble, and I have this thing that's a part of the government. It's where you get these books that comes from a library. So they're actual books. Sometimes they have writing in the back. Sometimes they have little marks inside. And some of them are kind of expensive. Like the one I got for $2,500. And I'm never going to show that because I don't want nobody to know what the book is. All right? Let's close that off. So it's about, you know, in here I have, I'm not going to show every one of them. The motherfucker beat me to the goddamn book. Fuck you. Do your own research. No, I love y'all. But I have about 12 books in there. They're good books. That's where the money goes. And that's what I do. So it says that I'll be receiving the books that I ordered from Homeboy. Okay, let me see. All right. It is slow. Why is it moving slow like this? We got 500G. Okay, so arriving Thursday is the no. I'll put that one. So another book based on Tartary arrived today. It's probably over there now. I can probably go pick it up. And they're saying that the other book that I ordered, remember I was talking about it? It says that'll be Tuesday, and the other one will be Thursday. So, and then the other ones, the library ones, that's the 4 books, Ancient Roots. So I'll be giving those away. So like I said, Gmail, I'll put it up the day I get it. I'll put the Gmail in the chat or in the back on what you call it. And all you got to do is say, yo, Red, can I get one of those Ancient Root books? And some of y'all might already have it. And I'll send those 4 out. And then next month I'll order maybe 5 or 6 more. Okay, will that be cool? Does that sound like a good deal? So the Ancient Roots is really a good book, y'all. I love it. I'm having a hard time finding, but I'm looking for the heirloom seeds. I've already started buying PVC pipes and the joints and the blue, the glue, and all that. And I've got tons of soil in my shed, and actually one right there that I use for my pineapple and Traumahawks aloe. I've already cut one off and been using it on with this summer back playing with me, scratch me. And I got 2 more books coming right here that I paid for and I'm not telling y'all a goddamn thing about, and I'll just be reading it to you. So I have all those and these, and I know it's times are tight, right? And like I said, on your page, if you need help, I'll send it to you. If I got to send, this is what we do. We keep the money circling between ourselves to assist and help ourselves. You get what I'm saying? We help each other. And I appreciate that $33, dude. I was like, what? I was like a candy store. Let me go ahead and order these goddamn books right now. I still had to add a little money because, it went over. But it's a beautiful thing, and I appreciate you. I think it's Chester. Is that a female? Anyway, I appreciate what you did. I really do. So, in the past 3 months, let me see what I've ordered. I'm not going to go back. No, if I go back, it's a whole lot of goddamn books I've ordered. So anyway, all those are ordered. All the ones that should be here Tuesday. There's one I think in the mailbox right now. Probably the keys there. Even though they're not open for business, there's people that are working who put the mail out on Saturday in the boxes. So it says it arrived today. So when I get off here, I'm gonna throw on my Timbs. I ain't putting on my Nikes, man. My feet felt kind of funny in them. I might have to stretch these out a little more. What do you think? And yeah. So put my Timbs, and I'm gonna go on and see if my book's over there. And I'm gonna read it. I ain't gonna tell you nothing about it until I'm done reading. And we'll continue on, like I said, with Flatlantis and the custodial time. You already seen the comparison, and I appreciate y'all being patient and having an understanding. And actually, I believe a lot of you are seeing things totally different from what you saw the first time. And I knew some of you probably couldn't even sit there and listen and be like, this nigga gonna read? I can see y'all now looking like Debo. No, put your asses on Debo though, and we're gonna keep it going. You know what I'm saying? I can do this forever, man. I really can. And I love breaking things down. Now there's some shit I gotta go back because I've read it before. I would skim over a lot of things and I'd be like, oh, that word got me flabbergasted. I'm like, I ain't never seen that in my life. And I don't get stumped when I can't really break a word down. Like, some languages I ain't studying. So I do my best. And for anybody, if you got any relationship, Sweden or Denmark or whatever, forgive me. Denmark, I don't do too bad. I can speak a little bit of German and a little Dutch. But I know I chopped some words up. So just bear with it, brother. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'm going to go and check the mailbox and come back real quick so I can go ahead and rustle up some grub. You dig what I'm saying? I appreciate you all. Shout outs. Hey, but y'all, what's going on? Quiet Storm, West Side, Lamons. I know a lot of y'all couldn't stay. Rondo.
I appreciate y'all hanging in there, man. I hope y'all truly appreciate the read. And if you came in just now and you wasn't here for the read, please, go ahead once it's uploaded and go ahead and check them out. Go all the way to the beginning of when I started reading, um, and start there and enjoy and share it. Share the readings. Purchase the books yourselves and as well read along. You might see something I may have missed. That's the beautiful thing. That's how we keep it within ourselves. Instead of always being so divided, no one is greater than the other. That's what's wrong with us. And there are those individuals, all skinfolk and kinfolk. We don't need to say that shit no more. We need to allow ourselves to know that aberration is real, but don't void it. Anybody that has to keep repeating shit like that shows that you're not elevated. You still have worries and concerns of shit that are not pragmatic to your spiritual access and growth. If you're stuck there still talking about we Indian or you don't know as much as I do, then you're not really on the same plethora. You're not in the same ether. You're not on the same timeline. You're a part of an issue, a problem, a growing one of those who want to circumvent themselves who didn't clean their ego away before you got into this knowledge. So therefore, this knowledge. Therefore, you're not in your knowing. Because see, when you get in your knowing, you have nothing to prove to nobody anymore. If you claim somebody's an enemy, then why are you fighting them? I mean, if you're going to claim their enemy, why don't you go out and draw blood? I'm not advocating violence. I am showing you that a lot of people have a stalemate with themselves, and they've stopped spiritual growth. They've gotten stuck in that conundrum, that confusion. Yeah, I learned that word from them. Anyway, yeah, and it's a beautiful word. And we don't have to be confounded. You know what I'm saying? We can elevate and further elevate, because when you elevate, I elevate. When I elevate, you elevate. Do you see there is a connection there? A real elevation. And there's a way you can deliver stuff. And we take words and we don't have to retract. We change their meaning. We create a new meaning. Man, I love it. You dig what I'm saying? I appreciate you all. I appreciate the thumbs up. Spivey. Mike, I got a notification from Mike Spivey. I don't know why you ain't bring your ass over here and watch the live, nigga. Anyway, that's my boy. I love him to death. Anyway, mad respect. You know where I stand with y'all. For the ladies that may have came in, I ain't seen Mama Red because she'd have had a whole diatribe. I just enjoyed reading that. And I haven't seen, I don't know what's going on with Tolo. Anyway, love them all. Love all my sisters. Gentlemen, until next time, I appreciate you all.